What's up, everybody? This is a quick video I want to make also. I've been getting this question a lot, and I figured it'd be easier just to put it into video. Even for people that are using Google, or sorry, using Meta, like a lot of people that are going to see this and don't use stuff like push and all that, this will still be helpful to you also, because I get this question quite a bit, which is confusion between how click IDs work between traffic, trackers, and endpoints, and how the postbacks work. I wanted to make this video real quick because honestly, I had to have explained this to 50 people by now in the last year alone. So who cannot seem to grasp it, and I understand why. So I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. In this setup you see here, we have a traffic source. In this case, we're using Propeller. If you're using Meta, you're going to be using the C API. It's not going to work the same way. It's done via API. The click ID is still gathered and is still sent back, but it's done via an API call, not a simple S2S call, which is a server-to-server pixel link, which I'll show you how it works. In this case, let's assume we're using a server-to-server pixel link, and this will still apply even with how it works with Meta, but I just want you guys to understand how this actually happens. It applies across all things. So let's say that you get a click on your traffic source, okay? Somebody sees your ad, you have an ad here, and they click it. And let's just switch this out for Meta, Google, whatever. The user clicks, and they're given a unique click ID that's generated on that source, okay? So like that user's ID there is the click ID that PropellerAds or Meta would have saved for that user's click at that time. When you have a tracking link set up, this ID is passed to your tracker. Let's assume that it's a direct link campaign, meaning that the user clicks the ad and they go to your offer, but they come through your tracker. So you can gather things like ad name, device, time of day, track costs, track ROIs, rotate offers, things like that, which you're going to want to use a tracker. This is mine, obviously. It's mine. This is the one I built that's free, but there are others too, like Red Track. I say this every time, volume, etc. Mine's free and self-hosted. So say that they come through here and they get redirected. Well, we're going to capture on that user's click, we're going to capture their Propeller or whatever it is. Let's say Propeller, their Propeller click ID. And then your tracker, all trackers, then generate its own click ID for that same user. So now that user has two click IDs. They have one that's from the traffic source and they have one that's at your tracker. And your tracker pairs them together and says, okay, this user that I know, this click ID that I've given them, this is the traffic source ID that they came in on. This is the one that they got passed when they came here. So now it knows those two are correlated. So when the user then gets sent to your offer endpoint to here, it passes your tracker's click ID to the endpoint. Okay? And let's say that that user converts and you get a postback back to your tracker. That postback ID gets posted back into your tracker, which then looks and says, oh, I know that click ID. It's right here. But I also need to fire this postback back to the traffic source so it can show converted there too. But if you post back your click ID from your tracker, it won't work because that click ID only associates with your tracker and with the offer. The traffic source's click ID is only captured between your traffic source and your tracker. So then your tracker posts this ID back here, and this one goes, oh, yep, it's a match to that user and shows it converted. Okay, so you get it from here. Your tracker creates its own that's correlated, sends it to the end. When it converts, it sends this one back to you, which your tracker sees and says, I see it. And then it fires this one back here, which is the same, and says, I see it. In a practical example, I have one of my own trackers pulled up. This is the most recent version of Kuma, by the way. I'm not really trying to self-promote it in here, but you can go find other videos on me talking about Kuma. This is the one that I built, though. Anyway, I set up a example test campaign with a PropellerAds. Let's go ahead and grab the link from within this campaign. So down at the bottom, this is the traffic link, and I'll show you why this matters. Let me pull up a notepad. Right here. Okay, I'll bring this notepad over. So I paste this in, and let's assume this is the postback we got from PropellerAds, and they need a click ID to find that converted user. So I already have this set up in traffic sources. All trackers usually will, but like this is the PropellerAds traffic source. This is all this gobbledygook you see on the end, like value, zone, cost, sub ID. These are all variables that you can have it passed to you. And I set those up in here, okay? So these are all special tokens that are being tracked. So every campaign you run through Propeller, Meta has its own. In fact, I'll show you. So Facebook has its own, right? And these are the variables that you track off of Facebook, like target, ad ID, ad set. It's the same kind of thing. But if you notice, back in Propeller Ads, I'm capturing Propeller Ads unique click ID, that's called external ID token, as a sub ID in token 3. Meaning that on the third token here, right here, sub ID is sub ID, that's my third token coming from Propeller Ads. So when I go to do a post back to Propeller Ads, that means when a user comes in from Propeller Ads, one click, I'm capturing all this additional data on that one user and storing it. And what that looks like is, let's go to the visitor log. This is a fake visitor that I've populated from Seattle. And in my tracker, I'm able to click the user to look them up. And I can look up everything associated with their computer, what device they were on, etc. And then in here, this is what I would have captured on the incoming click. I'd be able to see all this data. So I'd be able to know what their sub ID is. Anyway, when I post back, I need to post back that version of the click ID, not this one. See, like I said, this number here is my click ID in Kuma that gets sent to the offer. And then when they send that back to me, I need to capture the one like I showed in that drawing right here and send that one back. So let's assume we were putting in a pixel for that. I go into my integrations. All of them are set up similarly. This is a custom post back area. So like, let's say that we were going to post back to Propeller Ads. Okay. And let's, actually, I think I made a fake one, like right here. Yeah. So assume this is the S2S pixel you got from Propeller Ads, right? And they need a click ID. You're not posting back the click ID from your tracker. You're posting back the one they sent you. So I'm selecting my campaign, and then these are Propeller Ad variables. I'm going to be sending them back their sub ID token. In fact, that's kind of hard to see on dark. I'm going to be sending back their external sub ID token, okay? So now when I have this set up, what this is doing is it's basically saying, look, on my Propeller Ad stuff, the click ID headed back is the one that they sent to me. And then inside of your campaign, this is obviously my own tracker, but other trackers will have their own version of it. In the campaign, I would select that Propeller Ads postback. So what would happen now is when a user comes through this campaign, goes to the offer and comes back, this campaign would notify that Propeller Ads S2S. So don't worry too much about the specifics of how I was just trying to show you like how each one works in the setup, but just understand that traffic source generates its click ID, sends it to your tracker. And I only use my tracker because it's the one I have open, but if I had Red Track or Volume Winners, I'd show you how to do it in those too. You capture that click ID and it's associated with the new click ID that your tracker generates. The tracker sends its own click to the offer. Then that gets posted back, and then your tracker knows to go one-to-one that, oh, my click ID is associated with this one, so send that one back because that user's converted. So all three of you show converted together on the same user. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I've had to explain this so many times to so many people. And once again, it's just another video of like, how does this work? Why does it work this way? And contrary to what Gabe said about me turning into like a guru or something, or like some type of like person, I've been asked this question so many times privately that I was like, and even in this group, I must have been asked this at least 10 times out of this group alone. So like how this setup works. And it works the same for Meta everything. It's just that Meta doesn't do it through an S2S pixel. It does it through an integrated API, which is built into Mind. It's built into Volume. It's built into Red Track, all that same exact way. So anyway, I hope that helps explain a little bit more how postbacks are set up and how this like little click path works, because I know it can be really confusing. So anyway, I just want to take a minute to explain that to you guys. I hope it helps. For people who are new, who don't really understand how postbacks work and like tracking conversions and stuff, but hopefully this made it clear. Anyway, go out, get yourself a tracker, and learn how it works. You know, you can't mess it up. Just play around with it all. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time I make a video for something like this.